What's up, guys? It's bluetea-TCG back with another Vanguard video, and today I'm going to show a very awesome combo that Angel is going to have access to coming up in V Clan Collection Volume 6. It is, drumroll, a Denial Griffin play. This is awesome. Let me show you guys how to set it up here. I've got Lackey CCG open. This is a plugin I've been working on, so I'll put the details out a little later on how you can have access to this. But actually, for the time being, if you want to try out Lackey CCG for yourself, there's another plugin that another user made back in like 2020-ish. It's called Cardfight Universe. Most of the cards are on there. It's not been updated since I believe around DBTO4 or 5, one of those sets. So it might not have all the updated cards, but I'm working on trying to get a lot of different cards that he wasn't able to add to that plugin on a newer plugin. So trust me, I'll have this up and ready to use pretty soon. But with that out of the way, let's go right into the combo itself. So in order to set up this Denial Griffin combo, let me just describe what cards this involves first. So here on the table, we've got Angel Feather facing against a Pale Moon Silverthorn player that's got their full board of of Upright Lions as well as Dark Lord Princess into Yvette was done as well this turn. So how are we going to deal with this in a proper way? So right here, what we've got is on our Vanguard circle, we've got the new boss unit that Endofed is going to be getting in Clan Collection, Circular Saw Kyriel. And the thing about this unit is that it gives you extra protect markers if you have a protect marker on your circle. So this unit's supposed to be like protect 2 support. We're going to be making use of this to generate protect 2s a lot more quickly, and this is what will allow us to be able to do the Denial Griffin play shortly afterwards. So once we've got the protect 2 set up with your Vanguard of choice, of course, we're using Kyriel here just because it sets up protect 2s a lot more quickly than other units, but you can technically use any grade 3 from V series to give you the protect 2s. You're also going to need Ammunition Angel, which is the most important card for this. So Ammunition Angel reads, when it's placed on the Vanguard or Rearguard circle with a protect marker, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and you may put it into their damage zone face up. If you put a card into their damage zone, your opponent chooses a card from their damage zone and heals it. So we're going to be making use of this to call during our opponent's turn by some shenanigans, which we'll get to soon. And we're going to be putting one of their attacking units into the damage zone. Or it doesn't have to be an attacking unit. It can be another one of their units that hasn't attacked yet, which is usually better to do, actually. But basically, the point is you can put any one of their units as you would like into their damage zone, and then they heal a card, and that is our effective Denial Griffin. So how are we going to pull this off, you might ask? Well, first, we're not going to be able to pull this off until GB1 because the card we need in order to pull it off requires GB1, and it is Black Relief Aratoron. So looking at Aratoron here, what we've got, it reads Rearguard Circle GB1, Counterblast 1. When your card is put into the drop zone from your damage zone due to the effect of your rescue ability, you may pay the cost. If you do, call the card that was put into the drop zone to another Rearguard Circle in the same column as this unit. So basically what we need is a way to trigger rescue and make sure that Ammunition Angel in our damage zone is the card that's healed during that rescue. And then we counterblast 1 to call this back to the same column as Aratoron. Of course, you want to call it to a rearguard circle with a protect marker on it so that you can get Ammunition Angel skill off to put one of the opponent's rearguards into the damage zone. So that is basically a summary of how we pull off this combo, the cards need to set it up. All you really need, to be honest, is an Aratoron in a back row rearguard circle and an Ammunition Angel in the damage zone. And then in your hand, you can have any one of the following. You can have cards that basically allow you to rescue during your opponent's turn. So an example of that is Heniel. Heniel is one of the promos that we've got, and basically when it's placed on the Guardian Circle from hand, you get to rescue after your counterblast and Soul Less 1. And then another option for this, the easier option in my opinion, is to use a heal trigger to discard as cost for G-Guardian and go into Suriel. Now Suriel is one of our best G-Guardians for the whole clan, and what it does is counterblast 1 when it's placed on the Guardian Circle, you can rescue. It's very simple. But this is a way we can get the same combo off as well. Now, a third option you can use is a card such as Black Prepare Arakiba. I'll put the image for this in the editing. But basically, Black Prepare Arakiba reads, if this card is face up in your damage zone, at the beginning of the battle, your Vanguard with rescue ability is attacked. You can call it from the damage zone, and it gets plus 15k shield. And then you put the top card of your deck into your damage zone face down, and then you rescue. So that's another option to be able to pull off this Denial Griffin play. On top of that, Arakiba, the nice thing about it is that it gives you the extra plus 15k, which allows you to get some shield off of it without having to spend too much from your hand. In fact, you're spending a total of 0 cards from your hand by going into Arakiba in that aforementioned manner. The problem with Arakiba, though, compared to what we're going to be using here, is that it requires the Vanguard the rescue ability, which means you have to run a card like Derail Prim or pretty much any other card that's available in G-Era. And those cards just aren't as good Vanguards as what we've got in V-Series and what we're going to get in Kiriel. But I'm still messing around with builds to make that the best possible thing. Right now, as you can see, I'm running OG Gavrail as the defensive engine and the post first grade 3 turn Vanguard. It gives you a lot of defensive utility and gives you a stride bonus to allow you to build your field. So that's what I've been working with currently, but you can definitely run other cards. I'm still testing those out, but right now I've got Kiriel and that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and explain the combo, let's demonstrate the combo actually. So right now our opponent has attacked with, we see their Vanguard is attacked, as well as looks like they've got a couple of rear guards rested. I believe this card was rested because they boosted with Selvia before attacking with Dark Lord Evet. And then after Dark Lord Evet, which was boosted by Cerne, attacked, they used the end of battle Cerne skill to call Zelma from Soul, and then I believe they replaced Selvia with Lillian. So that's why it kind of looks weird here. But regardless, though, let's see what they attack with next. I'm saying let's see what they attack with, but obviously I'm in control of what they do. So let's go ahead and so let's say they attack first with Dark Lord Princess column, just because we're at 4 damage. They probably want to use the Upright Lions after they've made us guard some of these attacks, or to try to attack with them when we're at 5 damage just to make us guard a little more. But little do they know that we have the Denial Griffin play. So this is a 22k column, and looking at our hand, this is where we want to do the Denial Griffin play. So we have 2 options. As I mentioned earlier, we have Heniel, and we have the Surreal play off the G Guardian. In my opinion, the best thing to do is actually do Heniel, just because sometimes you want to save the G Guardian for Firmament Glance, which is a very strong card. It allows you to get an effective heal as well as call a card from Damage Zone to Guardian Circle, which is what we have here. We have the PG and Damage Zone. So we probably want to save that for Firmament Glance. So let's go ahead and use the Heniel. Heniel is going to be called from, Heniel is going to be called from the hand, and we're going to use its skill. We're going to Counterblast. This is very important, guys. In order to make this like the most optimal in terms of your Counterblast resources, you got to make sure to Counterblast the Ammunition Angel. So we Counterblast the Ammunition Angel, and then we Soul Blast whatever you'd like. Here I'm going to Soul Blast Yafkiel, and then we're going to read what it does and do it. So we have more cards in our damage zone than our opponent, or equal, which we have more in this case. So we're going to heal the Ammunition Angel, and then we're going to damage check. So this card is the damage check. Now look, we got a defensive trigger, which is great. I'm putting this over here to, do the makeshift trigger zone, because it has to stay here until we finish resolving everything that we have in standby. So we're going to obviously give the power to our Vanguard. The crit's going to also be put to our Vanguard, but let's not bother with that. It doesn't really matter that much. So the power is given to the Vanguard. Then we're going to resolve our Tauron. So our Tauron's gonna we have to pay the cost, which is Counterblast, and then we're gonna call the card that was put into the drop zone from the damage zone due to the rescue ability. So Counterblast, and then call the Ammunition Angel. And then Ammunition Angel is gonna activate. Because it was placed on the rearguard circle with a protect marker, we're gonna choose one of our opponent's rearguards and put it into the damage zone. Now, take a look here and tell me which one is the best one to do. If you said the upright line over here, then yes, I think that is indeed the best one to put in the damage zone. So let's go ahead and do that. Switch the perspective quickly. And you don't have to do this, of course, but I'm just doing it to make it easier to look at. We're going to, technically, this is from our perspective because we are choosing it. So we're going to put into the damage zone, and then our opponent chooses the card to heal from their damage zone. So obviously, all the cards are face down, so they'll just heal a card. They obviously do get a Counterblast back, but we're not too concerned with that as we are with pulling off the Denial Griffin play. So that is the Denial Griffin play completed. Now now that we have no more auto abilities in the standby, we can put this into the damage zone appropriately. And look, now we have another card to intercept with, which is the beauty about this play. not only is this Ammunition Angel getting plus 5k like permanently, it's also getting an extra 10k shield when we intercept with it. And actually intercepting with it is pretty much what we would like to do, just because we're able to get it back into the damage zone in a later turn using Scaling Angel. So keep in mind, it's actually important to make sure that we have this in the drop zone for later so that we can recover it. So right now, the attack was, I believe, 22, and right now our Vanguard is at 27 thanks to the shield. So this is enough to block that attack. So we don't have to do anything further. And then our opponent, let's say, attacks with they're enraged that we got rid of one of their upright lions to the damage zone, because that's the worst place for it to go for Silverthorn. So we're gonna attack the other upright line. So this is, let's see, 30 plus 5, 35. So right now we're at 22. If we intercept with 15, this is what that will be when we intercept, then we'll be at 37. So this should be enough, actually. We're just going to use that to block it. And then they have 2 more attacks possible. So they can attack with this for 19, which does not hit because our Vanguard is at 22. And then they can attack with this for, let's see, 27 plus 5, which is 32. So 32 requires from us 15 to guard. We have a couple options. We can spend the heal trigger to guard, but to be honest, like, it's better to just take this one, because we don't really like care too much about taking like another damage. Like we're at we'll be at 5 damage, but we have the potential to kill them in the following turn. Of course, we can see how many cards they have in their hand and such. They have 7 cards in hand. So with that in mind, I think it's safe to actually take this. So we damage check. It was a Battle Cube and no seal. Fine. And yeah, so that is the Denial Griffin play, guys. As you can see, it did its job. It curbed one attack from an upright line, which could have given us some trouble. Now, of course, even with that in mind, we didn't have to use the Denial Griffin play, right? Like, we didn't explicitly need it, but it still helped us out there in terms of having to deal with a potential extra upright line. Now, keep in mind the number of times you can go for this play. You're probably wondering how many times can you go for the Denial Griffin play, and how consistent is it to set up? So to answer the first question, is it like how often you can go for it? How often you can go for it is basically depends on how many Ammunition Angel you have in your damage zone at a single point in time. So there we had only 1 Ammunition Angel, so obviously we could only do it once. But if we had more, then the number of times we could do it further would depend on, if we had another Heniel in hand, or if we had another heal trigger to go into Syria, or if we had the Arakiba in our damage zone and we were running a Vanguard with rescue ability. So those are kind of limitations. Those kind of determine how often you can go for the Denial Griffin play. Now, in terms of how easy it is to set up, it's actually not hard to set up at all. We're running a bunch of consistency cards in this current build to allow us to get it more easily and more often. So I'm running cards such as Saria, which allows us to search any normal unit in our deck and put it in the damage zone. So usually you'll use this to get the Ammunition Angel, no surprise, into the damage zone. We're also running cards such as Scaling Angel. It's not here, but it's in the deck. I can just go ahead and reveal the deck briefly. So the next card was Heniel. That's funny. But as you can see, we're running Scaling Angel. This allows us to actually recover pieces from our drop zone to the damage zone more easily, as well as getting cards back in our soul if we ever need to, because sometimes you do run out of soul pretty fast, especially with all the Sarios and Heniels that you can use. So keep in mind, Scaling Angel is also used to get back an Ammunition Angel into the damage zone after we've already used one. So, let's actually just go ahead and, so I'm going to be able to owner none and pretend I saw none of that. Let's go ahead and end our opponent's turn. I just want to finish this, properly. I know it's going to extend the video a bit, but I think it's important to show kind of the follow-up after this. So all this goes to the G-Zone face up. They do the standard combo, put this into soul along with Dorian, counter charge, add a grade 3 from soul to hand. And then, this should have gone to the G-Zone face up before that. But yeah, then they add, we can forego the adding part because we'll have to add it from Dorian regardless. So the optional add from the Lutz, we'll skip that. And then we put these 4 into the soul. draw 2, and then the mandatory add from soul to hand to grade 3. If we put 4 or more, is going to be activated, so we get that. And then this is our hand for the next turn. We're defending with this deck. All right, so let's go ahead and show the follow-up for the Angel Feather player. Stand draw, and the Henial was drawn. It doesn't matter too much, but we're going to go ahead and ride the OG Gavrail here, and then for stride cost, we're going to be discarding Curiel. Because after you get the first 2 protect markers, you don't really need any more. The rest is just kind of bonus. And here we can go for either a Zafkiel or a Gavrail Eden. So interestingly, if you wanted to, you could have gone, like let's say you want to get an extra generation break. You can go into Suriel for the Denial Griffin play instead of Henial, just to give you the extra generation break. Because if we did that here, we would have been able to get generation break 3 for a very fatal Bassa Sale. So just keep that in mind, that is available. But it's no problem that we can go for, oh whoops, that's not Zafkiel. It's no problem for us to just go into Zafkiel, because it still accomplishes pretty much what we'd like. And then we're going to use the stride bonus of OG Gavrail. We can counterblast pretty much anything here, to be honest. Like, let's go ahead and counterblast the Prime Plaster, and then we check the top 3 cards of our deck for something, and then put in the damage zone. Let's go ahead and do none of these are too great, to be honest. Let's go ahead and do Nakir into the damage zone face up. And the rest of these go to the bottom in any order. Not that the order matters too much, but we're going to do that. And then we're going to call the Scaling Angel, and it gets +2. So now that we have the Scaling Angel on the field, we're going to go ahead and use Scaling Angel's ability when placed. So our drop zone has a normal unit, of course. We're going to put a face-up grade 2 or less card from the damage zone into the soul. We're going to choose Nakir for this. And then we're going to choose a normal unit from a drop zone and put it into the damage zone. And it's going to be none other than Ammunition Angel. So now we have the Ammunition Angel back in the damage zone for next turn, for when we want to go to the Denial Griffin play once again. All right, so now we go into the main phase. Let me change the phase here. So as you can see, this is how we recover our engine for next turn. So with this hand layout, we have the Denial Griffin play pretty much locked and loaded for our subsequent turn. But right now we're focused on killing them, so keep that in mind. Here we can go for a Sariel to, let's say we go for a Sariel in this column, I guess. It doesn't matter too much, to be quite honest. Let me see the drop zone. And of course, you can just use Zafkiel too to recover pieces to the drop zone. But I hope you guys understand like how you can recover the engine for the subsequent turn. I don't want to go too in depth on this turn because that's not the goal of this video. The goal of this video was to show that we have a Denial Griffin play finally, and this is all unlocked thanks to the new cards we're going to get in V Clan Collection Volume 5. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want to see, let me just show you guys the list I'm currently using. I haven't finalized it yet, just wanted to do a proof of concept for it and making this video, but yeah, this is what I've got here. So as you can see, we got a Stand Trigger Doctor Refros, we got a couple crits, Thundershock Angel, as well as 3 copies of Happy Bell Nocio to get some early game swapping in to make sure that we can get our pieces that we need into our hand, as well as the cards that we need from our hand into the damage zone early on, because this is active pretty much from turn 1. And then we've got 4 copies of Stride Fodder Crit, 2 copies of Draw PG, Battlekeep and Nocio, 2 copies of Grade 1 Battlekeep and Nocio, just because we have to split them, they're the same name, but the 2 copies of Battlekeep and Nocio once again to facilitate that utility, and of course it triggers the OG Gavrail skill to get +2 to the front row during the opponent's turn. And then we've got 3 copies of Heniel to facilitate the Denial Griffin combo, 2 copies of Prime Plaster as the extra Sentinels, in addition to the 2 Draw PGs, 4 copies of Grade 3 Search and Akir, 4 copies of Scaling Angel, 2 copies of Ammunition Angel, the new Grade 2 we're going to get, 2 copies of Araturon, 4 copies of Sariel, 4 copies of Yafkiel, of course, and then Grade 3 is 4 copies of Heal Guardian, 2 copies of OG Gavrail, and 4 copies of the new Circular Saw Curiel. And then the G-Zone is like very standard. This is literally like the most generic Angel Feather G-Zone you can make in Premium right now. We've got 2 copies of Bassa Sale, 2 copies of Firmament Glance, 1 copy of Raphael Mitra, 1 copy of PowerShell, the G Guardian, 3 copies. This should be, I don't know why it's not sorted, sorry. 3 copies of Serial. One of them is an SP. 3 copies of Zafkiel. We already saw Firmament Glance. 2 copies of Raphael, and 2 copies of Grail Eden, as well as 1 copy of Raphael Mitra. So yeah, that's the G Zone, guys. The starter is, of course, Medical Kit Angel. We're running the V Series starter here just temporarily. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it in the final build, but at least it's really generic to just run the draw card and get a quick shield. You know, it's not too much to it. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe as well for more Vanguard content. I'll continue to be uploading videos in a couple of the days coming up, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Thanks for watching.